let's start with the next topic, right, which is functions in C++. Okay, functions in C++. Okay, can you tell me what are the three parts of a function? Why do we need function? Good afternoon. Why do we need functions? Yes, what is the role of functions? Why do we need functions? Bolo, what is the use of functions? In order to execute a task, okay, to create reusable code, hmm, to reuse the code, right? So, function is nothing but a set of instructions, right? That's used to perform a specific task, right? It's used to set of instructions which are used to perform a specific task, right? And another advantage of using functions is that if I have to perform the same task multiple times, I do not need to write all the codes of line repeatedly, right? All I can do is to make the function call again and again, right? So one is to bundle together the specific task that is to be performed, and second thing is reusability of the code, right? These are the two things that a function provides us, right? Like for example, saves memory, of course, because we are using the same set of code, right? We are not repeating those things, so yes. So in terms of writing the codes again, yes, you're saving the memory too, right? Like for example, when I talk about a calculator, implementing a calculator, right? So I'm given two variables a and b. I have to perform addition, multiplication, division, right? And I have to perform subtraction. So can I say these are four distinct tasks that I have to perform on these two variables a and b? Yes, right? So one way is to write all these steps in the main, है ना? I can write all these steps in the main, a plus b, a minus b, a multiplied by b, and all those things. The other way is to divide these tasks into functions. Four different functions I can create so that these all, so again, as I said, these tasks are not related to each other. They're distinguished from each other. They're separate from each other, right? So instead of writing the entire program in one main itself, I can divide this program into modules or functions. So one will perform addition, one subtraction, one multiplication, and one will perform division. So four separate segments, four separate modules I have created in this way, right? And of course, another thing, readability of code, or in other sense, if I talk about debugging the code or testing the code, that's also going to be easy for me, right? When I have thousands of line in one specific function, now I have divided those 1,000 lines into maybe 250 lines per function, right? So obviously it's easy to test and debug the code also, right? It's easy to comprehend. Rather than reading 1,000 lines in a go, now I have to deal with 250 lines, right? So obviously it's easy to debug and to test the code also. So these are certain advantages that the function is going to provide us. And of course, this is the major concept of the procedure oriented language also, right? We are dividing our task into smaller tasks, right? So that it's easy to write the code and deal with the code. Right. So now coming back to the functions, what are the three major parts of a function? When you write a function, what are the three major parts that you need to consider or that you need to write? Can you tell me? क्या तीन चीजें रिक्वायर्ड होती हैं? Tell me. Function signature. Right, that's the function prototype. The first thing is function prototype, or we say the function declaration. Right. Function prototype or function definition, that's the declaration, that's the first. Then comes the function definition, right? And the third one is function call. So whenever I talk about a function, these are the three mandatory things that I have to write down. Function declaration, function definition, and function call. Right? So now what's declaration? As Mridula is also saying, that's the signature of a function, right? So how will the function look when I actually define it? है So number of parameters, return type, and all those things when I'm declaring about the function, that's called the declaration or signature of the function, right? So what's the syntax of prototype? Again, I need a return type. What will be the return type? Then the name of the function. Then there is the list of parameters that I need to mention, terminated with a semicolon, right? That's the function prototype, return type, name of the function, and the parameters that are required. Again, next is function definition. Function definition again, return type, name of the function, you receive the parameters that are passed, right? And now we are not terminating it with a semicolon, rather we are writing the definition in curly brackets, right? This is function definition. And last is function call. So function call कैसे define होता है? I just need to mention the name and the list of parameters that we pass, right? So that's a function call. Do I need any return type at the time of function call? No, right? Yes. Okay, so this is prototype. This is the definition or the set of actions that you need to perform, you mentioned here. And last is the function call, right? So let's take an example for it. एक simple example लेते हैं, right? Hash include IOStream, that's the library you use, right? Using namespace std, right? So next thing that you write is function declaration, है ना? So let me take void add, and I'm not passing any parameters for now. So what kind of function is this? Can I say without any return type and without any parameters? Right? That's how the function is going to appear, without any return type and without any parameters. Both of them are void, right? Then let me write int main, and in the main, let me say I'm making a call to the add function, right? So that's main, and then finally I'll give the definition to add, void add, without any parameters, without any uh, return type, right? So that's void add. Let me declare the two variables. Right? So this is how you define the function. Is it clear? So this is the function declaration, right? This is the function call, and finally this is the function definition. right? So function is without any return type and without any parameters. Is it clear to everyone? कोई doubt? Yes. What are the other types of the function? और कैसे कैसे function को declare कर सकते हैं? What are the types of functions? One is without any return type, without any parameters, right? कोई doubt तो नहीं है किसी को यहाँ तक? We have already studied this before also. होना तो नहीं चाहिए? बोलो जल्दी आंसर yes or no. ठीक है. The next one could be function with return type and without any parameters, right? Uh, maybe I want to send this result back to the main. ठीक है? तो किस तरीके से करोगे? Again, I'll change the prototype. I want return type this time, है ना? So my return type is integer, right? So what changes do I make in add? So here also in the add, the return type becomes int add. ठीक है? तो अब मुझे बताओ what changes do I make in the main function and in the add function now? I need to return the sum. And this time I want to print the sum from the main itself. So what changes will I make in add? One is I've changed the return type. Return type becomes int. So what changes will be made in this line? Instead of cout, what do I write? Tell me. Can I say instead of cout, I need to write this time return a plus b? Here yoga, I want to return the result to the main, right? So what happens when a call is made to the main function? You make a call to add, and when add is called, the control is transferred to this particular definition of add, right? This time the return type is integer. That means whatever computation will be made in add, after that computation, the result, which is in the form of integer, will be passed back to where the function was called. यही होता है. जहां से कॉल आया था वहीं पे क्या होगा? The call will be returned to the same place from where the function was first called. Do you get my point? Right? So whatsoever will be the result, a plus b, it will be returned back to where the function was called. और कहाँ से call आया था? From the main. This definition of this call of add. Right? So what changes will I make here in this place? बताओ. You forgot about the functions. What's the matter? जल्दी आंसर करो इसको. What changes do I make here? Because this is with return type, right? So what changes will I make here in this statement? Main में क्या changes होंगे when I'm returning a plus b from here? भूल गए functions, भूल गए. First thing is, if I'm returning something, I need to receive it also. Yes, I need to receive that particular thing also, right? So for that, because it's an integer, I need another integer. Let me say int c. And next thing I'll write is c equal to add. This is what I need to do. Ye yoga, this will be yes. You need another variable to store the result of a plus b, right? So in the main, you declare another variable c, and again c equal to add. Whatever value is returned from this particular return a plus b or the add function will come here, and finally that will be stored in the variable c. And now you can write c out c. Do you get this point? G, do you understand what is the meaning of this return type integer now? ठीक है, ये तो मैंने ही पढ़ाया था ना तुम लोग को, फिर भी ये हाल है। फिर तो मेरे पढ़ने से दोबारा कोई फायदा ही नहीं है। In C also I have covered these topics है ना before the section shuffling. मृदुला, ललित, तो अब तो मेरे दोबारा पढ़ाने का कोई पॉइंट नहीं है, तुम लोग को आती ही नहीं है ये चीजें, किसी और से ही पढ़ना चाहिए तुम्हें, है ना? Okay, anyway, now coming back, another type here is, okay, no problem, right, another type is right, I'm talking about the next one, which is without any parameters and with return type. That's also a kind of function when the uh, return type is void and I'm passing the parameters, right? That's also another type of function that we can have, right? So what will I do for that? Void add int, right? That means I'm passing two parameters from to the add function, right? So in that case, how will my main look like? Again, let me define these variables a comma b inside the main itself. So c in a, c in b, right? And how will the function call look like this time? Can I say add and I'm passing a comma b from here? That's how the function call will be, right? The function is without any return type and it is receiving two parameters. So अब बताओ what changes will be made in the add one? No, no, not pointers, without pointers for now. ठीक है? I'm passing the integers here. I'm passing the values of a and b from here. And how will it be received in add? तो add में क्या changes आएंगे? Again, void add, right? Int x comma int y. That's how you will receive. And instead of declaring these two, so I'll directly write C out x plus y. ये होगा. This is how you will define the add when there is no return type and you're passing two parameters, right? ठीक है, यहाँ से दो parameters pass किए a and b, and when I'm passing these parameters I need to receive that in add also. So int x and int y, right? So a will be copied inside x and b will be copied inside y, right? तो अब मुझे बताओ, how many ways are there to pass the parameters in a function? How many ways are there to pass parameter inside a function? Two ways. So what are those? What are those? कौन से दो तरीके होते हैं? And which one is the जो मैंने यहाँ लिखा है, which one is that? That's called by value, right? There are two ways to pass parameters to a function. One is called by value and the other one is called by reference, right? And the one which we are using here, that's called by value because I'm creating new variables and storing that values of A and B in new variables, right? So again, that was about C. Now, when I talk about C++, there are three ways to pass parameters to a function, right? There are three ways to pass parameters. One is call by value, right? Call by value is exactly the same we studied in C. जो यहाँ पे भी लिखा है. This is also call by value, right? Right? The second one is call by pointers or address. Okay, here we pass in the first one we pass the values, but in second one call by pointer or call by address हम क्या पास करते हैं? We are passing the address of that particular variables. तो जो हमने पढ़ा था C में which was reference है ना, the one we studied as call by reference in C, that's called by pointers in C++. Okay, and the third one here is call by reference, right? The third one is call by reference, which is totally different from what we studied in C. ठीक है, जो C में call by reference पढ़ा था, here what do we name it? That's call by pointers or call by address here. When we talk about call by reference, that's a totally different thing in C++. Do you understand this point? Changes will be done to the original variables, yes, because we are passing the address, right? When we are talking about call by value, let's understand this one by one. So first one is call by value, which is shown in this code also, right? So what happens here? As soon as I start executing the program, the first call is made to the main function. As soon as I go inside the main, I have to create two new variables, A and B, right? So variable is created, the name of the variable is A. Second variable is created, the name of the variable is B, right? So what is the scope and lifetime of A and B? What is the scope and lifetime? That's a local to main, right? A and B variables are local to main, so scope and lifetime of these two variables is also the main function, right? That's how it works. And let me say the user has entered the values like 5 and 10 in this. ठीक है, 5 and 10 C in AB. So user ने enter कर दिया 5 and 10 values, right? Next, the call is made to the add function. So when the call is made to the add, the control will be transferred to the add function, right? Value of A is copied inside X and value of B is copied inside B. In other terms, can I write this as this int x equal to A? That's one statement. And the second one becomes int y equal to B, right? Do you agree with me? This is how this is working. Int x equal to A and int y equal to B. True? So value of A is copied inside X and value of B is copied inside Y. So as soon as the call is made to the add function, these statements will execute. And can I say two new variables are created? One is X and one is Y. So what value is there in X? Can I say 5? And inside Y, there is a value 10. And what is the scope and lifetime of these two variables X and Y? What is the scope and lifetime of variable y, x and y? Can I say these are local to add? Yes, these are local to add function, right? So scope and lifetime of x and y is also add. Now tell me the next thing. Do these variables have any relation with the original A and B variables? क्या कोई relation है with the original variables in the main function? No, right? So these are the actual parameters A and B. But when I talk about X and Y, these are the copy, है ना? These are the new copy, these are generated, which are generated, and these are called the formal parameters. Exactly. This is the new copy that is generated, which has no link with the original one. Right. Now the most important question. See out XY, this will give me an answer 15, right? Now, what if in the add I write another function or another statement which says x equal to 80, x equal to 80. So, where will be the changes made? x equal to 80 से कहाँ होंगे changes? In the x variable. So, this will be changed and the value 20 will be placed here. Is there any changes made to A and B? क्या ए एंड बी में कोई भी चेंज आएगा? नो, राइट, देर इज नो चेंज। ठीक है, 20 लिख दिया मैंने, दिस इज 80, राइट। ओके, so no change made in the actual parameters, there is only change in the new parameters or the formal parameters or the one which is the copy of A and B, right? So do you understand this thing? This is called call by value. There is no change in the original parameters, only the copy is created in the add function, and whatever changes we make are made in the copy only, right? Copy which is local to add. Any doubts to anyone here? जी, ठीक है। तो अब मुझे एक और बात बताओ। Now tell me another thing. Okay. When okay, I'm changing the statement a little here in the add function, right? Instead of, what if instead of x and y, I change it to a and b itself? Now, is there any relation? क्या ये original ही है or these are new parameters? What happens? Is it a new parameter that's formed or is it the original one that I'm using? बताओ. What is the scope and lifetime of these A and B? These are new parameters, right? What is the scope of this A and B? Till the main, right? But when I talk about these A and B, इनका क्या है scope? Can I say these are still local to add? These are the new parameters which are formed, which are local to add. तो अभी भी क्या हो रहा है? Still, instead of x and y, the name I have given is A and B, but still these are different from the original parameters. Do you understand this? Right? Still these are local to add function. So this works as a plus b, but then again, अगर मैंने यहाँ अभी भी लिख दिया a equal to 80, so is there any change in the original copy? या अभी भी ये ऐसा ही दिखेगा? It looks the same, है ना? 80 is only updated in this copy of A because this is local to add, right? But still there is no change in the actual parameters. अब बताओ कोई doubt? Take a minute with this. If there is any doubt, please tell me. Shivendra? क्लियर हो गया आपका डाउट? Right. So let's execute the same thing on the compiler also. यही चीज कंपाइलर पे कर लेते हैं. Hash include iostream right. First I need to declare an add function, void add, which receives two parameters, int comma int, right. In the main, int a comma b, c in a and b. Then again I make the call to the add and I pass the parameters a and b, right. Again void add, I receive those parameters, int x comma int y, cout x plus y. So that's the result. When I execute, right, let me say 2 and 3, those are my parameters, and 5 is my result. So what happened here? Again, copy is generated, new variables x equal to a and int y equal to b. That's what has been executed at the backend, right? Now again, if I make any changes to x equal to 90 maybe, तो क्या original में कोई change आएगा? No, because this is refined or new copy, right? So cout, after add, I am um, printing those values, right? A, and I'm printing the value of a and b after this call to the add function, right? So when I execute, again, you can see 2 and 3, that's the original value. Sum is printed 5, and then again, the value of A and B is still 2 and 3. Right? Why? Because this is called by value. And in call by value, no changes are made in the original parameters. Right? The next thing that we were discussing, instead of int x, I can use int A, and B also. I can use the same name of parameters. So int a equal to a, int y equal to, int b equal to b. When I talk about this int a and b, these are local to add, right? So this a, b and these a, b, these are totally different from each other. And how will I know that? I'll again print the result a plus b, and let me make the change here, a equal to 90. ठीक है, यहां से भी प्रिंट कर लेते हैं. दिस इज cout in add, right? In add the value of a and b. Okay, and after the execution of add, ये जो main है in main, let's just check. Okay, 2 and 3, these are the values. So you can see 5 is the result. In add function, value of a is changed to 90, but in the main it's still 2 and 3. I hope now it's clear to everyone. Take a minute. If there is any doubt, please let me know. Isn't the same for previous one? Isn't it the same for meaning? Previous one meaning with x and y. This is called by value itself, right? अभी भी तो कॉल बाय वैल्यू ही कर रहे हैं हम। क्या डाउट मृदुला, आई डोंट गेट योर क्वेश्चन। कौन सा प्रीवियस वन बोल रहे हो, दोबारा बताओ। हाँ, मैं सिर्फ वैल्यूज चेक करके बता रही हूँ दैट बोथ ए एंड बी दे आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम ईच अदर, राइट। हाँ जी, बाकी सब जो सो रहे हैं, सोते हुए लोग। ठीक है ना, जो सो ही रहे हैं उनको उठाएं भी कैसे, क्या करें। उनको लेक्चर से बाहर निकाल देते हैं। चलो, join the next session, we'll discuss the rest of two there, है ना। कॉल बाय रेफरेंस और कॉल बाय पॉइंटर्स नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में डिस्कस करते हैं। Yeah.